Hi, my name is Watkan. I'm a trail race organizer, a trail runner, and I used to be a triathlonist. I planned this trip because I'd like to show you this area because I think this is one of the most nicest places in Hungary. It urges to go through the whole Körös. I did another survival trip. It was trekking and it was in winter time with 35 kilograms in my backpack. It's also nice, you can check it out. And why am I doing this? Just to be in the nature would be kind of boring or useless, but if you have a goal, for example for me, to go from A to B, that is enough. To be in the nature is a good sport activity and it's really nice, even for a week. I'd like to warn you that it could be really dangerous. You have to know how to be in the nature in a correct way, how to sleep, how to swim in the water, how to handle the kayak in a proper way. So please don't do it if you don't know how to do it exactly. I'm not a fast but a good swimmer, but rivers can be dangerous for everybody. I'm collecting the materials and the equipment for the trip. I will need a lot of energy during the trip, so I bought some dried meat. I will try them. I'm just going for the hammock. I've got the hammock, the power bank, the solar panel, some medicines, the gas, and some refreshments. And the most important part, the dinner. We finished with the shopping. My wife helped me a lot. These are all of my equipments. The packing is the most important thing. I put separately the things. For example, this is only for breakfast. These will be the next for lunch. And these will be the dinner. These are the clothes. And this is the final version. I'm on the way to the train station. My plan is to go there one day before to have enough time. I will leave the car here and go to the train station. I just catch the train. I arrived to Békéscsaba. I arrived to the bus station. This water thingy was a really bad idea because this is really heavy. I arrived to the port. I tried to build the kayak holder. It's almost finished and done. This is the first time I use the hammock and I can see it is very comfortable and cool. Tomorrow will be the first day of the trip. I will get the kayak at 8 o'clock. Good night. The first day. The hammock was very comfortable. First of all, vitamin. This is for the stomach because the water here is not so good. And this is my breakfast and some protein. And this is the kayak place. I need some fresh water for washing. I made some isotonic drink. I have the kayak. With the packing. Now I can start the trip. This is day 0. My plan for today is 50 kilometers. Everything is inside the kayak. There was enough space. It's unbelievable. Almost 40 kilograms is inside the kayak. I will measure everything with my GPS watch and I will see the track on it too. And finally I am in the river. Behind me you can see the dam near to Békés. This is very hot. This is the first 3 kilometers and the first bridge. This is already the live Körös. Actually, I will do this part twice because I will do a short 50 kilometers long circle because I like to complete the border-to-border trip requirements. The kayak is amazingly fast. Behind me there is my solar panel and in front of me there are other things under the bridge. Here there is a huge, I don't know what. I will achieve soon the crux where I have to change to the other river. I'm into that one. And I am here. it much smaller. It looks really interesting. I don't want to be wet. It's not so easy, I thought. I hate these kind of things. Unfortunately, it would be too dangerous to climb up here, but this is also not so good because if all of my stuff will be wet and I have to dive for them. I did a short calculation and I decided to go back and do the circle in the other direction because this will be the same amount of kilometers. And I do not have to go like this, but I can come out from this tunnel like this. It's 11:14 and the same bridge again after 6 kilometers. Another 2 and I will be back at the start point. It's 11:30 and I decided that between 11 and 1 o'clock I won't be on the water because it's very hot today. So I have a small rest and I cook some lunch. Finally, I'm in the shade. There are a lot of space inside. This is the cooker stuff. It's lunchtime. This is the windshield for the cooker. It's a very good one. This is the gas. Cooker. I have a blanket, a mini one, and the sitting pad. This is good against sticks. Water is almost boiling. This cooker is very fast. This is the best place for the solar panel. During the lunch is getting done, I will go and have a bath. I think the dinner is ready. It's a good recipe. I will show it to you later. I will pack and start again. Because that was my camping place, and at the other part of the dam there is a small village. It's funny. I'm starting again. I arrived to the place where I started in the morning. This is the dam, a big one. So I have to pick out the kayak and put into the other side of the river. I will try my water shoes. I brought it especially for this stuff. And now this is the time to try out this. It's working. I just put it together tomorrow night in the dark without any equipment and it's working. This is the first time. I'm really happy. I think I'll win about 4 hours in the whole trip with this. And of course you can order it from me. This is it. I love this. Last time when I tried without these wheels, it was terrible. I hated it. And this small part took about 30 minutes because I had to do this with all of my luggages, so it's very good. I am on the other side of the dam. I have the first 10 kilometers. I am much slower than I planned because I had to set all of the equipment, I had to try it out and etc. But now I can move in a good pace, I hope. Here the river is very wide. There is another bridge. I have 14 kilometers until now. I feel I'm in the middle of nowhere. I met nobody until now in the water. I almost achieved the bridge. In my childhood, I were inside all of the bridges of Budapest. This is an island. I eat some protein bar. I have 18 kilometers until now. I'm getting tired, but I won't stop. It's a very nice part. It's a labyrinth and I'm in the wrong direction. I think I have to go back. A duck family. I had to go back about 200 meters. I hope it will be the open water. I had to come back much more, but I find the corridor. This is the wrong side of the island, and this is the corridor. And now this is the right side. Unfortunately, I've lost half hour with this unnecessary circle. What is this noise? Here the black and the white courage. This will be the twice courage, and I will take this one. On satellite photos you can see that this is really darker than the other one. Ship Sanazug. Sanazug is the name of this place. My back hurts. I will have a little rest and continue the trip. I have exactly 21 kilometers until now. I have left 10 kilometers until the Romanian border. I'm not so good because my distance should be 45 kilometers, but I hope I could do 30. The unnecessary circles and the packing, and this is the first day, but tomorrow I hope I can go much more. The endless route. I got some wind and darker clouds. My back hurts. I had to stop for a bit. I slept for a few minutes. The pain in my back is very bad, but I'd like to touch the border until the end of the day. I have 24 kilometers until now. I'm doing this for 5 hours and another bridge. After the bridge I can stop everywhere because there will be a forest. Here there were no forest, there is forest. I will finish today here. I did 28 kilometers in almost 6 hours. After the dam in the forest, I think I will find a really good place for camping. I can take out the pedal like this. When I go out, it's necessary. First, I must drink a Hammer Recovery. I decided that I will leave the boat here because I cannot bring up to the dam, and the forest is at the other side. I have to be quick because I think there will be a rain or storm soon. The hammock tent is done. I'm drying my wet clothes and preparing for dinner. The second day. Good morning. I feel much better. The tent was very comfortable. I have only a little pain in my back, but I think I can continue tomorrow. This is 7:15. I want to start as fast as I could, so put together everything, cook some breakfast and go. Almost done with the packing. I have a separate bag for breakfast. As always, finished with the breakfast, so I can continue the trip. I hope I'll still have the boat. What I learned, if there is a dam, the forest will be on the other side of the dam, so I cannot bring the kayak out of the dam. Let's see the kayak. The kayak is there. Unfortunately, it's raining. I have to mix the isotonic drink, the morning whey powder. Finally, I'm ready. Everything is inside the kayak, so I can start. Now I'm in the water again. It's 8:30. I go to the border. It's about 3 or 4 kilometers from here, and backwards I won't come to White Körös, but go to Élővíz csatorna, which is a not natural channel which leads through nice villages and cities in the neighborhood. And at the end of the day I should arrive back where I started yesterday and continue the trip along the river. There is a huge storm with lightnings there. There is another dam, so I have to take out the kayak and put it back at the other side of the dam. I need to set on the wheels and after I can go out. I could come here from there, but I have a little problem. Unfortunately the boat is very heavy because of the water, I mean the drinking water, so I don't want to put everything out and back. I checked on the map, the border is 2 kilometers from here. Maybe in this case I will leave it. It's very comfortable and heavy. Ah, cool. I'm down. And now I go there and check where can I find. Uh-oh, bad sounds. Oh, I have to correct it again. Now I know why I have so much pain in my back, because of carrying the kayak, I think. And this is élővízcsatorna, which means live water tunnel. Unfortunately, there is a fence around it, and I really don't want to carry the kayak through the grass. So I decided I turn back here and I go straight along the Körös. This is the easiest way because I like to kayak instead of carry the kayak. And I have another issue. Unfortunately, it's broken just here. So I have to go back up to the dam, which will be not so convenient. But fortunately, a guy came and helped me to bring the kayak back the place where I put it off before. So my plan is go along the Körös, no dead rivers, no carrying kayak. That would have been possible to rent a kayak from here where the river starts in the country. So unfortunately I did 27 kilometers, but it was a good training. Now this is like it would be the start of the trip. So that city was Gyula, near to the Romanian border, and now I go to the other border, to the Serbian border. So this is day one, second edition. On the right side, that was my last camping place. We can see also the bridges in the distance. I did the first 2 unnecessary kilometers because I started here 20 minutes ago. The sun is shining again, so I need some protection. And yeah, rain is gone, fortunately. I was thinking, and it's not so bad to leave the dead rivers, because put out the kayak, it's very difficult. I did it sometimes in my childhood without any luggages, and it was very, very difficult. With the luggages, I think this is unsolvable. So this will be a real Körös trip instead of other trip. And I'm here at the bridges again. The second bridge for trains. I did 6.5 kilometers in 1 hour and 20 minutes. My back hurts me a lot, but I found a way with this sponge, so it's a little bit better. I couldn't go fast enough. I can say hello to this part because I hope the black and white Körös meeting point will continue soon. This is the end of the 5 kilometer long dam. I will leave now the black Körös and here the white Körös comes. And these two rivers now, the Körös of 2, because it contains 2 rivers now, it's much larger. There is a bridge in a distance, far, far away. I did exactly 10 kilometers until now in 2 hours. And here is the place where I missed my way yesterday. Now I'm on the right side. It's noon, so I must get out of the kayak and have a rest and have a lunch, because this is really hot in the sun. It looks very comfortable. First of all, I really need a recovery. I'm preparing for lunch. The daily menu is paprikás krumpli, which is an original Hungarian food. The most important part. Lunch is ready. I hate ticks. I finished with the lunch, so I can continue the trip. It's really hot. This is my waterproof bag. I can store inside wires, the official things, money, papers, and of course it can swim on the water. I show you the other side of the river. Boat is over there. I think I will arrive soon to my start place and the bridge again. I've just stopped to drink something. I can see now my starter point. This is the church tower of Békés. I had to put something on my legs because they are completely red. This t-shirt is really useful. I did 6 kilometers after lunch and this is the dam. It's about 1 or at most 2 kilometers from here. This is the dam. And this is my port. It's 38 degrees. It's really hot. I'd like to show you my things. These are the shoes, a normal and a wet shoes, I mean water shoes. Here I put all of the things I need, for example, toilet paper, sun milk, all of my papers, money and phones, water, and the isotonic drink. I just arrived to the port. I go to the other side of the dam. Fortunately the wheels are working again. The wheels are bad again, so I have to solve it in a different way. I have no exact plans for today, but I'd like to go at least 10 kilometers more from here. So I'm at the other side of the dam. This is also the Körösöv 2. This is the real Körös from my childhood. It's natural, it's silent. After 2.8 kilometers from the port, this is the next bridge. This is a giant. This is another river which joins to us. Behind me, this is the part I tried yesterday. So from now, everything will be new. The good old Körös. I was at the port 1 hour ago and I did 5 kilometers. So if I go 5 more or 10 more, it would be a nice goal for today. I have about 2 hours before sunset. Maybe this is the nicest part of the day. A colleague. The colleague again. I think I find the ideal place for camping, that would be. I don't go further because after 1 kilometer there will be a kind of city or village and I don't want to camp in the neighborhood of the city. So I take this one. That was one of my requirements, that I'd like to sleep besides the kayak, so not the other side of the dam like yesterday. Finally, I did 8 kilometers from the port. Mosquitoes everywhere here. So this is the camping place and I like to sleep between these two trees. Charging and cooking. The recovery. I go to take a shower. It's 8 o'clock. I'll have dinner. I'm a little bit afraid that big tree behind me will come onto my head during the night. The chance is not so high, so I really hope that I will wake up in the morning without any tree on my head. I'm in the hammock. Outside is very windy, but I prepared for the night. I'm not so tired like yesterday. I don't know what was it. Now I'm absolutely okay. I found the right position in the kayak for my back, so I do not have so much backache, so I'm very happy. Good morning. It's 7:45. Fortunately, it's much cooler than yesterday. The hammock is still comfortable. I could see the kayak from the hammock and the river. Breakfast again. Now I was careful. I'm running out of the water, so today I must collect some bottles. After 10 kilometers there will be Körös-Tarcsa, and there from the port the shop is only 5 minutes, so I will go there. In my trips I always use this kind of paper towel because this is the most effective way for cleaning. And finally I can go out. It's 9 o'clock. Finally, I can start the trip. That was my camping place. The colleague again. Jó reggelt! Hello. The trees are so high here. Huge and frightening. Actually, here comes into the Köles ér, which is a small brook. Sometimes, where the river is so slow, it will be like this. A huge bridge. I had to stop for a bit. I have more than 5 kilometers in 1 hour. I'm faster than yesterday, but my back hurts me again because this is the worst position I could sit. I tried to sew it with the sponge, but this is not the best option. You can see some local built ship. I really need the isotonic drink because it's very hot. And I also try to eat nuts. I have 10 kilometers, I have little nausea and muscle cramps, of course, in my fingers and my legs. After 1 kilometer I will reach the port and I could buy water. The bridge at Körös-Tarcsa and the port. Finally I reached the port. I can buy water in a big portion as well. I found a really nice place after the shop. I will do the lunch here. The lunch is almost done. I finished the lunch break so I can continue the trip to moving house. I must water my cap in every 10 minutes because it's exactly 38 degrees. I always try to improve a repeatable technique. Now, for example, after every 500 meters I water my head, and every another 500 meters I drink some isotonic drink. Lunch is enough for 1 hour. After 1 hour, isotonic drink is not enough, so I start with this fruit mix and protein bars. It's a very wild and very natural place. I am exactly in the middle of the nothing. I arrive to the join of Sebeskörös and Körös of 2. And now this will be the Körös of 3, much wider again. I have 10 kilometers after lunch. That means I have 20 kilometers today and I need 10 kilometers more to complete the plan. Turtle. It's 5:30. I sat in the kayak 3 hours ago. I rode 17 kilometers and in 2 kilometers there will be a shop where I like to drink something cold. There is a bridge at the end of the universe, the bridge at Gyomorrendrőd and the port. I'm super exhausted. I have 29 kilometers until now today and it seems open. I arrived to the port. I really waited for this moment. I have about 5 or 7 kilometers for today. Everything is very still. I must do this 5 kilometers because I'm in a little delay. By the way, it's 6:45. I have about 1.5 hours until sunset. I wanted to pass exactly that bridge and I need to pass it because it's really loud. I checked on the map and I have to camp exactly here on the right side of the river because on the other side there is a city, and exactly here because we are 2 kilometers away from the trail bridge and 2 kilometers away from the highway bridge, which is at the other direction. So maybe it will be the most silent camping place. It's 7:30 and I decided I have to wake up much earlier because I couldn't achieve the daily goal. I have to go every day 35-40 kilometers, but now I went only 35. I think I found the best place. This is the port. I looked around, it looks safe and it's very nice. It's a typical riverside forest and of course full of mosquitoes. Now I was super fast. There is the river, this is the kayak, and I'd like to show you something. Here is the mummy bag, and I always use a pulley as a pillow because if it will be cold I can wear it immediately. This is the kitchen. I usually sit on that one, so everything is outside. It's really hot. The nicest thing in the hammock that you can hear the mosquitoes, but you know they never bite you. I'll wake up tomorrow at 6. Good night. Good morning. It's 6 o'clock. Time to wake up. I make some porridge for breakfast and of course the morning shake. I finished with the packing and the breakfast, so I can go. Finally, I could pack in the kayak. My plan for today is to achieve the dam at Békés Szent András. If I could go there, I complete the plan for today. That was my camping place. The river is beautiful in the morning. It's 7:15, I can start now. This is the bridge I mentioned yesterday that I don't want to hear. Now my back is okay. I have muscle cramps in my hands. I've collected 3 kilometers in 30 minutes. I'm super motivated to meet the original plan. I am really okay with my speed today because the last days I could do at most 5.5 km per hour, but now it's 6 km per hour. I sat in a kayak 1 year ago. Maybe because of this I needed these 3 days to be in shape again. That would have been the place where I have to change river to the dead one, but next time I really need proper wheels to carry the kayak. And finally I'm here where the dead river comes back into the main one. This is digged, a not natural part of the river, because they tried to cut all of the dead rivers, all of the curves. This is faster. It was the time at the river regulations in this area of Hungary. It's t-shirt time and it's unbelievable because it's only 9 o'clock, but I feel the sun too strong for my skin. I have the first 100 kilometers of the trip. Today I try to eat dried fruits. Unfortunately, the wind blows in a really wrong direction. Thick Körös, usually very straight, and the Old Körös, because of the name, circles, are very curvy. 100 years ago, it was a really wide river and it causes a lot of floods. 10 years ago, there was a huge flood in this river, and I will show it to you when I arrive to the dam of Békés Szent András. Behind me, you can see the Hortobágy-Berettyó main tunnel when joins to us. How interesting this large system. This water comes from the Romanian mountains and finally it goes to the Tisza. It's a connection between the mountains, that part everywhere around us. We will arrive soon to one of the most interesting places of my childhood, where I learned how to kayak. Here the that part joins back and another bridge. It's 11:30, but I decided to go at least 20 kilometers in one piece, and I have only 19, so I have to do 1 kilometer more and I can have lunch. And that will be the lunch place for today. It's lunchtime, recovery and soup. The sponge was better than nothing for my back. At lunchtime I have a lot of to-dos. I have to take out all of the kitchen, I have to cook, I have to wash, I have to put everything back, I have to create the isotonic drink, I have to charge the cam and my watch, and I have to take a little rest. It usually takes 1 whole hour. This solar panel is a real must-have. I can charge my 5000 mAh battery in 3 hours. It's amazingly strong and fast. And finally I'm on my way again. I go to Békés Szent András to the dam. We are between 2 dams always. And finally we are here. that leads to Szarvas, where was my children camp. I did several times about 20 years ago a so-called circle trip, which was 25 kilometers. I came from here and go there to the dam, and after the dam I go back to the dead lane and go back. So this is a really nice memory for me. My original plan was check this river too, but unfortunately with the bad wheels I couldn't go to the other side of the dam. Next time I like to do the original plan with a better wheel. We can see the ferry and behind it the other dam. I have about 2 kilometers until the dam, and you can see behind me the ferry. Dam is far away from here, the fisherman's boat. When I was 14 and did my first circle trip, this part was really frightening for me after that part, because that was, I mean, this was huge and large and scary. 20 years ago when I saw this sign the first time, I was so scared. I thought the dam is the end of the world, so I picked the kayak out and without shoes on the hot ground I carried it for 500 meters until the dam. Of course, at the second time I go on the water until the dam, because that was no danger at all. In the child camp in Szarvas there was a boss. Everyone called him Uncle Peter, and he was so kind and let me, 40 years old child, go to these circle trips alone. I am very grateful. Thank you, Uncle Peter. I am at the end of the world. This is an artificial river. Because of this is absolutely straight. Now I'm thinking where to go. Yes, I think this is a good choice. That would be the place where I could go down, but unfortunately it only works in the morning and in the late afternoon. So I can pick the kayak out and carry it. I climbed up because I have to look around, really don't know where to go. I have a new pain in my hip and it's very bad. Approximately 10 years ago there was a huge flood in Hungary, and the water was so high that I could kayak above this building, above the dam itself. It was amazing. Everyone was underwater. I had to use a GPS to find a way where to follow the river. This is the dam at Békés-Szentandrás. It's interesting, like the bridges. I hope it is not forbidden. Amazing. In my childhood, I came here, I picked the kayak out and go there, because that direction is Szarvas. Nobody is here, and I think I have to come back here and go there, because that is the only way where I can put the kayak onto the water. Unfortunately, I think I do not have so much options, so I have to carry the kayak through this field. How should I take here the kayak out? Finally, I could pick out the kayak. I have a huge pain here and I have to bring it there on the grass without wheels. Almost done. It's 37 degrees and no one else is here. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of time here, but I have 2 or 3 hours left until sunset. It is 4:30. Finally, I can start and go out from here. Finally, there is a little drift. After many kilometers, this is again a new face of the river. With the pain in my right hip or I don't know what is so huge I cannot do anything with my right side. Now we are in front of the plan, about 7 or 10 kilometers, but I want to do today more because for the next 3 days I couldn't do if I'll have this pain tomorrow. Today is very windy. I couldn't breathe properly because of this sharp pain. Try to continue. I did 5 kilometers after the dam and I like to take another 10 kilometers before the next camping. Here the drift of the river is much faster. The highest bridge in the river, very high. After 3 or 4 kilometers I will start to look for a camping place. This is the Nagykunsági main canal. Fortunately my pains are getting better. I think you should never stop what you are doing. I didn't stop, so I do not have pain and I could do a lot of kilometers after. It's 7 o'clock. I have 19 kilometers until now. I like to use round numbers. For example, with 20. That was my first part today and that will be my second part as well, because with round numbers counting is much easier. I will start to look for a camping place now because I have left 400 meters. I think I find the proper place. I finished with the camping place and I will eat at the shore. Today's menu is and finally the well-deserved dinner. It was a long day. This is the first time I could row 40 kilometers in one day. Yesterday I can continue. I like to wake up earlier than before. The goal is 6 o'clock. Good morning, this is day 5. It's 5:30. The hammock is so comfortable still. I woke up in the night that I couldn't move like this because I have huge pain in it. Today I should reach the Tisza. The level of the river is 10 centimeters lower than yesterday. Some porridge breakfast. Finally I can start. It's 7 o'clock. So again, the goal is to reach the Tisza today. It's amazing. Without front wind I can go with 6.2 kilometers per hour. You can see from the mud that the level is 1 meter lower. Cows. Here the river is so low, pedal can touch the bottom. It's amazing. How ugly is in the middle of the nature this loud and dirty bridge. For me, cities are options to buy the best equipment to go back to the nature. What the hell is this? In these few kilometers there are more bridges than trees, unfortunately. I have the first 10 kilometers today. My back on both sides are very bad and painful. I arrived to Kunszentmárton. Until now the river goes to the west, but from now goes to the south. I need to buy some water because I have only for 1 day. I go to buy some water and I wanted to throw out my garbage. This place is exactly for canoes and kayaks, and the good news is that my hands okay. You just have to do it and every pain will be dead. The city of Kunszentmárton. I haven't walked more than 5 meters for 5 days. The building used to be a bath. We are in the national park. I really don't want to go back to the civilization. I only want to have some water. I have the water. A very nice little town. I waited to come back to the nature. I have 2 kilometers left in my morning session. It should be 20 kilometers exactly because it's easier to count. I found out a main secret. You have to start as early as possible because in that case at 11 o'clock you will have 20 kilometers and it's very good. I have the planned 20 kilometers. It's lunchtime. It's 11:30. Oh. The today menu will be this. The recovery. The ship is gone. I forgot to use the ropes. During my lunch, I have met with another kayak rider. He's the first kayaker I see in 5 days. He's also doing a huge trip. We've had a nice conversation. It is a huge storm. Finally, I'm on the water. He goes up and I go down. I have 15 kilometers until my next camping place. It's very, very windy. Stormy. It's still windy and I forgot to say it's 2 o'clock. Huge wind and dark clouds. Unfortunately it's raining. Maybe they used it for packing a big boat. Behind me it is an island. The sun is shining again. It could be so dangerous, I think. Here is the Kursa. I will check it now. Actually, this is a canal only, so I really don't mind that I do not have to pick out the kayak all the time. I show you the Kursa. That's it. Do you know why is it so high? Because of the flood. In 1917 there was a huge flood in Hungary. These are the last kilometers on the Körös and I will arrive to the Tisza soon. Already the Tisza. The last few meters on the Körös. I just arrived to the Tisza. These are the last few meters of the Körös. Bye bye Körös. I will miss you. It's about 4 times wider. Here is the Tisza behind me. Nice, hi Tisza. That was the Körös and this is the Tisza. And I will go there until almost the border. I stop for a bit here. I eat something before I go. Bye bye Körös. Here maybe the traffic is a little bit bigger. It is 6 o'clock. This is very similar to Körös, only a little bit bigger. A bridge far, far away. My first bridge in the Tisza. It is another dimension of kayaking. It's huge and a little bit scary. It's 7 o'clock. I find my next camping place. I will sit exactly 5 meters from the river and from the kayak. Finally, I do not have to pack 10 minutes in and 10 minutes out because the camping place is here. I finished with my sleeping place. The dinner is getting ready. And the recovery. Dinner is ready. Good morning. This is day 6. I think that was my best camping place ever. It's almost 9 o'clock. Finally, I can start. These numbers show you the kilometers counted from the end of the river. So this shows us that in 236 kilometers the Tisa goes into the Danube. I love this kind of forest. I have the first 8 kilometers today. I have 70 kilometers left. Today I'd like to go 35 kilometers. When windy, this could be very useful. Deers. The scenery is changing again. It's really nice. I'll have lunch here. It's 11 o'clock, lunchtime, and unfortunately it started to rain, so this is the best place to stop. It's a very good place to have a lunch. No one else is here. Because of the wind, it is very cold. I create some pasta again. The sun is shining again, fortunately. It's 1 o'clock, finally I could start. The solar panel behind me is working very well. In a few hours it can charge my 5000 battery. The main goal, especially survival trips for me, you can lose yourself. It was like only a blink, think on nothing, just do the physical activity. And here is the Kurza again, back into the Tisa. And another ferry. I'm at the beach. This is the Anyás area. Complete silence. I don't know why, but I'm super exhausted. The storm seems to come again. I'll camp now. It's only 5 o'clock. Finally, it's raining. It's cold rain. I will eat, and if it rain after dinner, I will sleep here. Comfortable enough, and I think the rain will stop soon. I'm super exhausted. I didn't go too much, but I think I will sleep here. It's 6:30. I had a little nap and now I start to make dinner. I've just counted that I have more than 200 kilometers until now. I have 40 kilometers left for tomorrow. I'm making dinner. Dinner is ready. So it was an easier day. I tried to wake up earlier tomorrow, about 6, to finish the last 40 kilometers of the trip. Good morning, day 7. The night was terrible because it was really cold. I had to put on a pulley. The sun started to shine. It's 6 o'clock. That was the worst night. It wasn't just cold, but I woke up because I have sharp pain in both of my hands. I couldn't hold even the cam. I'm making some breakfast. It's 8 o'clock. Finally I could start, and this is my last day. After every 2 kilometers I have to stop because I have pain in both of my hands, but after a few minutes I can restart. This 40 kilometers will be hard, I think. 200. I have the first 10 kilometers today, and maybe I arranged a transfer for the kayak. I have 13 kilometers until now. This is the Tisa Bridge at Algyő city. I like bridges, but I don't like this terrible noise. It was a really fast boat. The port at Algyő. I stopped here to have a lunch. I'll have 10 or 15 kilometers left until Szeged. It's 11:20. Recovery. I've arranged the travel from Szeged to bring back the kayak to the place. I have left about 15 kilometers. This will be the last round for this trip. I don't know why, but now I can go with 7.2 kilometers per hour. These are the last 10 kilometers and I will arrive to Szeged. This is the Móra Ferenc Bridge near to Szeged. It's huge. It's very interesting. We are 5 kilometers from a not so huge but a big city, and here no sign of any cities. Monsters. And finally we can see the city of Szeged. This is the Maros. Hey Maros, thank you for joining us. Tisa is getting bigger, the beginning of the city. This is the Bertalan Bridge. This is the downtown bridge of Szeged. I've never been on sightseeing with kayak. These are the last few kilometers until the port, which will be my destination. That was Szeged. Now a forest continues. Hey, I will arrive in 30 minutes. Okay, thank you, bye. I've just called the transfer, they will wait for me. Between Szeged and the port, we are again in the forest. The last sign on this trip, 170. These are the last minutes of the trip. I will achieve soon the winter port. Thank you for watching this, and please write me comments. If you have questions, just write it to me and I try to answer it. If you have any ideas where to go next, please let me know. And this is the finish line at the winter port. I arrived. 250 kilometers. The last 5 meters. Finished. These were only the things I bring back, so I ate the other things. I go for the lorry. I have the lorry, and here we are. Bye, Tisa. Ready for the transport. I gave back the kayak in Békés, I go back to Szeged and I'll bring back the bus. I arrived back to Szeged with the bus too late, so I didn't have connection to Budapest, so I started to cut this video until the morning. And now I am waiting for my transport and go to Budapest. I'd like to say thank you to my team in Graz. They gave me the idea that I should create a video of this trip. Thank you, Kata, for letting me come here for one whole week. Thank you, Louis, for giving me a lot of ideas and equipment. Thank you for my mother, because you were the one who showed me that place in my early childhood. And thank you for everyone who is watching this. And if you are planning a trip like this, please share it with me. I'm interested. like to show you. I was at the port. I was at the port 1 hour ago. I cannot reach it. Hey! You can check it out. You can check it out. You can check it out. But usually, it's usual, but